Dear listeners, have you learned the books, play, novel, poems which have written before Christ? I mean the year of 400 and so on. Okay, teacher Garikototo Njige have brought you the play which is written by Sophocles from Greek, the man from Greek. Sophocles wrote the play known as the Oedipus, the king, in a year of for I think 500 before Christ. The Oedipus, the king, is the Greek mythology, the king of Thebes. Mhm. The Oedipus is the king of the Thebes who unwitting killed his father and married his mother, Homer. Later that Oedipus' wife and mother hanged herself with the truth of their relationship become known, though Oedipus apparently continued to rule at Thebes until his death. In the post-Homeric tradition most familiar from Sophocles, Oedipus Rex or Oedipus the king and the Oedipus at Colonus, there are notable differences in emphasis and detail. My name is teacher Karigodo Njige, the world analyst from Tanzania, Africa. According to the one vision of the story, Laius, king of Thebes, was warned by an oracle that his son would slay him. Accordingly, when his wife Jocasta or Locaste in Homer, Epicast, bore a son, he had the baby exposed a form of infanticide. Tradition has it that his name, which means swollen foot, was a result of his feet having been pinned together. But modern scholars are skeptical of that etymology, as feared took pity on the infant, who was adopted by the king Polybus of Corinth and his wife and was brought up with their son. In early manhood, Oedipus visited death, and upon learning that he was fated to kill his father and marry his mother, he resolved never to return Corinth. Traveling toward Thebes, he encountered Laius, who provoked a quarrel in Oedipus killed him. Continuing on his way, Oedipus found Thebes plagued by the Sphinx, who put a riddle to all passers-by and destroyed those who could not answer. Oedipus solved the riddle, and Sphinx killed herself. In reward, he received the throne of Thebes and hand of the widowed queen. His mother Jocasta, they had 4 children, Etrusco, Polynices, Antigone, and Ismene. Later, when the truth became known, Jocasta committed suicide and Oedipus, according to another vision, after blinding himself, went into exile, accompanied by Antigone and Ismene, leaving this mother-in-law, Cleon, as regent. Oedipus died at Colonus near Athens, where he was followed into the earth and became a guardian hero of the land. Oedipus appear in the folk traditions of Albania, Finland, Calpulus, and the ancient stories that intense dramatic appeal. Sulu Seneca. The theme was translated into a long succession of playwrights, including Pierre Corneille, John Donne, and Voltaire. It had a special attraction, the 20th century, motivating among the other artistic Russian born. Okay, that's the short summary or synopsis of this play, The Oedipus and the King. It's all about the main characters, who is the Oedipus, who married his mother and killed his father because he grew up in other villages because of the mediator or the oracles. The Oedipus, the king, was published by Creative Space Publishing, and also the main theme is fate versus fair will is the central theme of this play. The story revolves around the Oedipus' attempt to use his own free will to escape the prophecy given to him by the oracle of death. That's the main thing of fate versus free will and death. More lesson which we have learned in this play: you can't always control what your destiny is. You can steer it in the right path, though. Also, you want something done, it is better to do it yourself. If you don't do it yourself, don't rely on anybody else. The Oedipus, also known by three Greek title: Oedipus Trainus, ancient Greek. Oedipus blinded himself after learning that he inadvertently murdered his father and slept with his mother. He also apparently by this relation that he felt the need to physically punish himself. He blinded himself because of he cannot handle the truth of his action. Oedipus is a tragic flaws, his anger, his rashness, and the decision he makes while trying to do the right things. And also, the Oedipus the King is a classic example of dramatic irony in that the audience knows that Oedipus is a killer throughout the play, but Oedipus himself is unaware of this fact. If there was ever a story about inescapable fate, the myth of Oedipus' legacy is the original demonstration. The myth begins with the prophecy and the attempt to escape it, and finally, it is inevitable manifestation. Fate to the ancient Greek was an unavoidable concept. What truth does Oedipus learn? He learned that he was the infant who grew up and killed King Laius, his father, at Crossroad after leaving the Sphinx. Oedipus went to the same oracle in Delphi that his birth parents had consulted. The oracle informed him that he was destined to murder his father and marry his mother. In an attempt to avoid such a fate, he decided not to return home to Corinth, but to travel to Thebes, which was closer to death. The headsman exposed it on Mount Caesaleon, but the spheres of Polybus, king of Corinth, found the infant and brought it to his wife, Merope. She adopted him and passed him off as her own, and after she had healed his echoes, she called him Oedipus, swell-foot, giving him that name on account of his swollen feet. A year passed during this. Oedipus had 4 children with Jocasta. Oedipus found out that he killed Laius, his father, and married his mother, Jocasta. He was horrified, so he gouged his eyes out and exiled himself from Thebes. Seeing this, Oedipus sobbed and embraced Jocasta. He then took the gold pins that held her lobes and with them stabbed out his eyes. He kept linking the pin down his eyes, crying that he could not bear to see world now that he had learned the truth. Cursing his fate that had doomed him to do what he had meant not to do, he blinded himself as he could not bear to see the children he had fathered with Jocasta his wife and mother. Jocasta, for her part, hanged herself. Oedipus, in disgrace, left his country and as a blind beggar and wandered in the countryside. Polynices, who had expelled his blind father from Thebes and left him to live as a beggar, has come to ask his father's support in overthrowing his brother. Oedipus, enraged at his son's request, stretches out his accusing arm and releases his dreadful curse by which each son would die at the hands of the other. That is the end of the novel, of the play analysis called the Oedipus the King by Sophocles, from Greek, a Greek man from Europe. My name is teacher Karigo Dr. the Manju of Literature and the young African writer from Shinyanga, Tanzania, Africa. That's the end of the novel. And don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment below this video.